So I'm picking up on a feminine energy here today. You are the Queen of Cups, okay? Which tells us that you are a compassionate, loving, comforting, caring, calm energy. Um, and you do have some healing qualities about you that you haven't discovered yet. And that is because you are too focused on work, on your financial, material aspects. And the cards are telling me that you are a master of your craftsmanship, okay? The Eight of Pentacles, you've worked hard to get where you are. You've either studied or you've done apprenticeship work or whatever it is to get you to this level of financial freedom and stability, and comfort in the material sense of things. However, because of this, you have been neglecting your spiritual side, okay, your more feminine side, who you are as a feminine, and you've been focusing on the masculine aspects of life because, unfortunately, that is what this world that we live in has taught us, right? We live in the matrix, we live in the material world, and we are being deceived by this. It's great to have money and financial freedom and do whatever you want to do, but at what expense? Are you willing to sell your soul, so to speak, just for that bit of financial wealth, material wealth? I mean, this life is not even a long one. You've had many lives before this, and you will have many lives to come. So what Spirit wants to tell you today is that it's time for you to do some soul searching. Okay, we've got the Hermit card here, and you need to start focusing on doing a bit of introspection, gaining some wisdom. That means, doing meditation, finding some spiritual practices or, hobbies that interest you rather than focusing on only on work and what brings you money. Try some new things. Try some, unlocking or accessing the creative aspects of who you are, because yes, you're very grounded, but you're stuck in that lower, very low, much lower chakra energy, the root chakra, and it seems that your sacral chakra is blocked. And how can you unblock the sacral chakra? You need to start introducing some creative endeavors into your life. That could be writing, that could be drawing, that could be painting, that could be singing, that could be dancing, that could be astrology, that could be tarot cards, that could be anything where you are creating, because that is who we are. We are creative beings. Okay, as human beings, we are creative beings. We are created in the image of God. Right? I don't look at that from a religious point of view, but I do believe in that because I know that we are that which exists in all things. Unfortunately, everything's been taken literal today when it was actually kind of trying to be taught to the people of the time, in a more figurative sense, to kind of paint that picture in your mind. So, God is not a separate entity or being from us. But when it says that we are created in God's image, it's from the soul aspect, right? Not your physical, the way you look, but from the soul aspect. Everything is connected. I mean, that's the universal law number one, right? It's all divine oneness. We are all connected. Every single living organic thing is all comes from the same source, right? You are the stars, you are the planets, you are the animals, you are the birds, you are the trees, you are the sky, you are all of it, right? It's all just one living consciousness, okay? And that is what Spirit wants you to try and start understanding, is that you're an infinite being of light, and you are that. Stop seeking it outside of you, materially, chasing money and chasing these things. It's great to have them. No one says you have to give it up, that's for sure. But you need to start tapping into the shadow aspect, the more feminine side of who you are as a divine feminine being. Okay? So it means spending time alone, isolating yourself when necessary, quietening the mind, going into deeper meditative states. And the only way this can happen is through continual practice. Everyone says, yeah, but I don't know how to meditate, or it doesn't work, or it's difficult. Did you learn to speak English in a day, or whatever language you speak, in a day or a week or a month? No, it takes years of practice. Okay, but you have to be willing to put in the work. And the more work you do, the faster you will get to that level of enlightenment or awakening, so to speak. Okay, the cards here go on to say that you need to move into this full energy. That means not to be a fool in itself, but to be, what is the word, curious about life. You know, you're tapping into new waters here, so, something that you haven't really spent a lot of time on. Yes, I'm sure you've dabbled in it here and there, but it's really time to get your feet wet, so to speak. And that means closing your eyes and taking a leap of faith. Okay, you're moving forward in innocence, in you know, in a spontaneous way, understanding that this is a new adventure. You know, using blind faith. That means trusting in the universe 100%, because you don't have experience here. That doesn't make you immature as a person. That just means you don't have much experience in this field, and that's okay, right? It's not a competition, that's for sure. A lot of this new age spirituality, you know, people are competing and well, I'm better than you, and you don't know what's right, and there is no such thing as right and wrong. That's part of universal law, right? There's only cause and effect. That is the law of polarity. That is what the Chinese ancient Taoists came up with, the yin-yang symbol, right? It doesn't mean good and bad, black and white, or anything like that. It is simply cause and effect, light and shadow. You have both of those aspects to you. As Westerners, we're taught to ignore the shadow and focus on the light. That doesn't really work. That means you've got half of the information, and to me, half-truths are whole lies, okay? So it's time to start taking a leap of faith and just running with it. Try some new creative things, anything that you would like to do, or that you've thought of doing, or you know, that you've been afraid to do. Put the fear behind you. It doesn't matter what other people think, and if they judge you, that's on them. People only see you at the level that they're ready to meet themselves. The moment you judge another, it's because there's an aspect in you, a shadow aspect, that you have not realized, and you're recognizing it in someone else. So we become jealous and envious and angry with those people, when actually we should be looking, introspecting, and seeing what is it about this that makes me jealous? Why do I feel this way? Start asking yourself those deeper questions, okay? And you will get to some answers. Oh, I need some water. You will get to the answers, but you have to ask the right questions. Okay, Spirit is also warning you that if you don't do this, you are going to end up in heartache. Okay, there is going to be grief, suffering, emotional pain. It's not to say you're going to lose your job or anything, but you're going to become a miser. Okay, we've got the Four of Coins here, right, of Pentacles. This man is holding on tightly to this coin, and you can see he's just not happy. He hasn't got much, but you're going to be happy with that, because that's all you will have. You will retire and die, and that will have been your life. Does that sound like that's why you came here? I don't think so. So I'm just going to pull a couple more cards. Actually, let's see if the Oracle has anything to share with you. Oracle, what can we tell our collective? Yeah, you see, you're on a mental overload, a work overload, which is causing a mental overload. But I mean, this guy's sitting with his head on a pile of papers, you know, excess, obligation, overwhelmed. You're working too hard. You're too focused on your finances, on your money. And again, people say, now that if I become spiritual, I have to give up everything. No, it's just the desire for those things becomes less. Desire, guys, is such a low vibrational emotion. You can want things and you can have things, but you don't have to desire them. Yeah, you see? Look at this. I mean, these cards couldn't be more specific. So it talks about schedule, management, plan, organize, right? So you're obviously on some kind of work schedule, but this is leading to some kind of overcommitment, right? Blinding, obstruction, contract, binding, sorry. Look at this guy's fighting through this. I mean, this is all work related. Okay. So it's time to start scheduling your life better, right? Make time for other things, not just work. Don't just, instead of working overtime and all the time and staying late at the office, go home when you're finished. Make it a thing. Work-life balance. That's not even a spiritual thing. That's talked about in psychology, and just to be a happier person all around. So yeah, I don't think we could get much more from this. I think we're going to leave it here for today, guys. I really hope that this message got through to whoever it was meant for. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you soon.